Good afternoon once again, everyone. Thanks for logging in. Let me start sharing my slides and someone please tell me whether you can see it or not.
Yes,
all clear?
clear.
Great. Two more moments and we'll start. So the topic today is delivering excellence through project economics. This is the masterclass. Or roughly the agenda in front of you. There is a project manager in all of us. Today, I have named him to be Raj. Ladies here could name him as one of your names or your own name you can think of. There are so many. It may be Linda, for example. We'll play with tools, do an exercise, and there are many walkaways guaranteed. And time for questions as well. So good afternoon once again. The name is Daman Dev Sood, your guide on this journey towards delivering excellence in management consultancy. And today, I'm going to give you a sneak peek into a crucial aspect of my 3 days course, Certified Delivering Excellence Specialist course. But first, let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a manager named Raj. He was intelligent, hardworking, and committed. He was managing large transformation projects at a reputed consulting firm. But despite his efforts, his projects ran over budget, and fell short on delivering the expected results for his customers internally and for his customers externally. He was confused and frustrated, and his superiors were losing faith in his abilities. One day, Raj stumbled upon a concept, project economics. It was like a light bulb moment for him. He realized that he was missing a vital piece in his management puzzle. Understanding the aspect of projects, economic aspect of a project, a key element that had been overlooked in his career development so far. So this is how the course looks like. But first, let me take you through what Raj went through. This is how a typical day of a project or program manager looks like. This may be Raj's day, this may be your day. Planning and scheduling, managing resources, reviewing project status, managing communication, meeting stakeholders or interested parties, managing team, maybe a team of 2 or 20 or 200, managing project finances, managing changes. We were saying nothing comes free in this world. Managing quality. Risks. Every project, every program will have some risk, and we need to be capable of managing those. Project documentation, including the reports. Hiring and firing. When there's a team, there has to be hiring, and if not performing well, then maybe firing as well. Because once again, the business of business is making money. It's not a charity. Even if charity organization, they need to live within those finances, the budgets that they have. Then he or she, the project or program manager, needs to be developing the team, mentoring and coaching them. Firing is a task, but is not the first, but the last task. Before that, Raj would like to mentor and coach his team members. Analyzing project data. A lot of data is produced. Reporting, which is part of documentation, and planning for further projects. Raj may be doing well on this one, but that's not the end of the story. Towards the end of the project, he or she must start thinking of the next one. So project cycle, according to me, doesn't end by delivering well. This one. Towards the end of this one, I must start thinking of the next. How will I get from this client? Or do I need to develop a new client, which is a difficult task? And we need to be prepared for that. All of these may not be done every day, but this is all that a project or program manager will be doing. Out of this, today's focus is the economics, finances, or commercials of a project. So quick view of project economics is what I'm going to be attempting. In the course, full length course, which is 3 days, I cover all this: cost management, estimation, cost benefit analysis, cost control and monitoring, project profitability, billing, invoicing, and realization. A lot of focus is required on the last one also: billing, invoicing, and realization. There are some project managers and program managers in the world who feel, think, believe that I have delivered the money. My job is over. That approach is not good anymore. Even if it is to be done by someone, finance or commercial department, but Daman, your job is to get the billing done, invoices raised, sent to the client, admitted, accepted by the client, all okay. Even if payment is going to happen by 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, whatever are the payment terms agreed between two companies. And finally, realization also. All these three are also important. And in the full length course, I do take care of this as well. What do we mean by project economics? So financial evaluation of a project. Cost and benefits associated with the project. Simple. When we talk of economics, we are talking of cost, how much have I spent, and how much am I making out of it. Analysis of investment costs, expected revenues. In the beginning, we do expected revenues. Later on, we check the reality also. And to check the reality, we need to have the expected revenues in the beginning. And profitability help to determine a project's feasibility and potential return on investment. Every CEO, every CFO, all boards, all managements are worried about ROI. That's the buzzword they have. Daman, tell me what is the return on investment if you are asking me to spend some money. If we are going to pick up this project, if you are going to start this project, tell us what do we get in return when we make some investment. Cost management is important when we are talking of the economics of project. And this is known as process of planning, estimating, budgeting, controlling, and analyzing costs. On day one, I will not be spending all, but I have asked for, assume I have asked for $1 million. On day one, I don't need $1 million. So there will be a schedule like that, milestones like that. When do I get that money? When I finish the task, and when can we see the outcomes of this step, Daman? And to be done throughout the project life cycle. That's why, because all is not available to me on day one, and I'm not able to deliver all on day one. It may be 6 months long project, 3 months long. It could be 3 years long project, or a program that runs forever, perhaps. And cost management ensures that project is completed within the approved budget. This is one of the most important success factors for a project manager. And that financial resources are utilized efficiently and effectively. There have been cases when some budget was asked, approved. You're lucky if you get what you asked for, but then the person was not able to utilize it well. And then the management says, this is a wastage. You asked for, the budget was reserved for you, but you have not been able to utilize it well. So question mark on Daman's project management, program management skills. Within that, the budgeting skills. And finally, we are saying due to cost management. Why do we do cost management? so that we achieve the desired profitability. So the day we design the project, we start the project, we make some estimations. Based on that, we say it's going to fetch us 20%, 18%, or 25%. We will be able to make that claim. We will be able to do those checks only when we have been doing the cost management throughout the project life cycle. Quick look at the components. What all do we need to do within cost management? Looking at project budget, initial, and maybe refined over time while the project is running. We need to keep keeping track of that. So cost tracking also. How much have I spent? And keeping control. Sometimes in between, we say we need to have control on spending. It may be a direct money on some material, equipment that we are spending, purchasing. It may be cost control through manpower also. We need to be managing changes. Any project, any program will have some changes as we start. And especially the Raj case story, if we recollect, large transformation programs will have changes also. So there needs to be a capability of change management within the management of changes in the cost elements as well. We need to be reporting if some changes are happening. Even if no changes are happening, how much have we spent for what as we go through the project life cycle. Any project, any program will have risks, and we need to be having capability of managing those risks. Very important portion within a project manager's life. And lessons learned. Very important portion. I have been across companies, countries, industry sectors in different roles, including as an auditor also. And in almost all programs, we would look forward to something called lessons learned. So do you have lessons learned? People show me some document, which is actually not a lessons learned. So assume there was some shortcoming, a mistake, a failure. Failure appears to be a negative word. For that, we can use shortcoming. Some shortcoming in the project, which was overcome. We need to fix that gap. We need to fix that vulnerability. The job is not over here. After fix, we need to see that that gap, that leak is not happening now. And then only it becomes a lesson learned. And this is how then it needs to be recorded. So it's a long story, even in writing a lessons learned document. People not necessarily understand it well or not necessarily do it well. As the commitment was a world-class case study, I'm going to open here in this masterclass in front of you, and we'll go very slow on this. This is where maximum time will be spent. At least next 15 minutes will be on this case study, developed as the Big Fours or MBB would do in resolving the multi-million-dollar business problems or while they interview the new hires. This case study, one sample out of many. I have 21 in the full-length course. As I open, someone once again, please confirm whether this is visible to you as well as readable. At the end, it is going to be available to you. So this is our commitment. You will have it with you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Right. And let's see if it's readable also. You want me to increase the size? Better now?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, it's clear.
Great, thank you. So DBD Consultancy is a prominent, consulting firm operating globally with a strong presence in the USA. With over 12 years of experience, DBD Consultancy delivers comprehensive training and consulting services across industries and countries, consistently achieving successful outcomes for its clients. They work with a vision to deliver excellence to their customer. That's the background. As a case study would start about the company, you could assume you are DBD Consulting. And here is the case. Swift LLP in KSA, Saudi Arabia, got in touch with DVD consultancy for a project implementation of organizational resilience in a government entity. So this is fictitious, but very close to reality. Both were in the same country, Swift LLP as well as the client, the government entity. At the time, DVD consultancy had no prior business relationships with either Swift LLP or the client. Say in the case with me, please. I'm going slow. I'm reading, but you can read along with me. Initial discussions with Swift LLP were positive, and then comes another entity. Maple Consultants, a local consultancy firm, was then introduced as leading the contract with the client. Maple Consultants, Swift LLP, and the client were all based in KSA, and DVD consultancy had no prior experience with any one of these three. The period was the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. I'm stopping here. Happy to switch off the screen also, means stopping share, and we can have some interaction. Your views, any one of you, at this point in time of the case. Anyone can. Just, you all have the power to unmute. You can switch on the camera also, by the way. I have not put any restrictions. DVD Consultancy, a training consulting house. Swift LLP from KSA approached them for implementing organizational resilience for a government entity. And then Maple Consultants came into the picture that they will be leading the contract with the client. And DVD consultancy doesn't have any prior relationship with any of these. Start thinking like project managers, program managers, please. Any risks, any issues, concerns?
I think,
Yes,
well,
sir.
I mean, I'm not a full-fledged project manager, as you know,
No,
more into cybersecurity.
share
But as we can look at the risks, obviously, not having prior relationship with the client, that's fine. I mean, not every company knows they are the company.
Right.
But here the thing is the geography, the particular laws, which are
Right.
not known to DBD. These are, I would say, these are the opportunities as well as risks both.
Both.
And at the same time, you know, it's a COVID time, so
Yes.
there will be restrictions on the travel as well as in-person meetings. Some work has to be done on site. So I think DBD is not in great shape to get this, to do these things themselves. Perhaps they will have to get in touch with some local party there, so-called subcontracting to get the work done.
Okay.
I think these are the ways to go about it. That's
Great.
all from us.
Thank you very much. And within few seconds, winners. Otherwise, in real course, I'll provide you more time. In real time, when you're actually executing or bidding for a project, you will think for hours, days, and weeks also sometimes. And there'll be many minds sitting together for that discussion. Great. Anyone else who wants to add, delete, or subtract from what Amol said? This is how these cases are resolved. That a situation is given to you, a question is given to you, and then you have to discuss, debate, right? I'm attempting that way. All right. Moving on then, let me start sharing the screen once again, coming back to the case study. I hope you can see this once again. Tender was floated. Swift LLP was the intermediary for tendering and contracting purposes. The proposal had to be submitted through local consultancy, Maple Consultants. Let's look at the right-hand side. The local language was not English. Amol said a little about that. It was discussed and understood that some interaction during phase 3 of the assignment would be held in the local language. But the language of the assignment was established to be English. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Quick ones, please. And anyone?
I think this is quite natural. However, we have to somehow get things molded. in a project management fashion or in a so-called professional fashion. But
Right.
this is where generally people get, or everyone likes to get done, but without disliking it, or calling it less important. We have to get things molded. The reason why this I think this is a concern, because the assignment also will be held legally, and we have to be very sure that how it was legally drafted.
Very
So
good.
that's why I would be concerned about local language versus English language.
Very good. Anyone else? I'll wait for a few more seconds before I move on. So let's look at then what happened. DBD consultancies estimations and proposals are based on this assumption. What is the assumption? This big one, that even if it's in KSA, even if DBD consultancy is in the USA, the project language was supposed to be English. But yes, understood, there will be some interaction later on that will be in local language. So this is how DBD consultancy then produced its estimation. That's part of the project. Again, 200% days, average USD 2,000 per person day. So the project cost would be 400,000 and 2 consultants and a principal consultant to work. This is a very simplistic view that I've given. We go very deep, looking at how many days for a consultant, how many days for principal consultant, etc. And then their rates, which are not same. Rates are different. Just given a simple view here. And schedule would be 6 months. Initial estimation was 9 months, but the RFP demanded the assignment to be closed in 6 months at all cost, and DBD consultancy wanted to make 20% out of this based on these assumptions, these calculations. Any issues, concerns here?
I think because of the timeline, they might need to increase the manpower also, and
Right.
logically the cost could go high as well. Yeah.
Yeah, good one. From 9
If
months
I
to
may,
6 months. Yes, yes.
yeah,
Go.
sorry, Lamont, if I may, I feel like, it still lacks a lot of information because the information is extremely limited. So I would have to agree with our colleague that's in the session that basically, a person has to, or the company has to be careful in terms of legal wise, like isn't mentioned in the contracts. And, especially like, given the limitations of only 2 consultants, and with the specified time frame, maybe it might not be enough, yani. So everything has to be planned, has
Very
to
good.
be like included in as part of the proposals itself.
Good.
And when the company has to be very clear, what exactly do they need from the
Exactly.
consultants in general, but they have to be very specific in detail,
Good.
before going ahead and agreeing with the consultants company and signing the contract
Good.
and starting the project itself.
Very good. Thank you very
Yep.
much. Now what
One
happens?
more
Yes,
thing.
sorry. Yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt. Just
No,
one
no,
more
continue.
thing. We have a thing, and I'm sure it's very similar in India, and I'm sure it's similar in the States. Sometimes, basically, in terms of finances, maybe sometimes like the country, the authority of the country might basically not approve in terms of like, a transfer of payment to the consultants. We have this thing in
Yeah.
the UAE, especially in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi.
Right.
If basically if the vendor is not signed onto the website of the Department of Finance in the UAE itself, then basically no payments will be processed, Jenny. Again, going back in terms of legal wise.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
Sorry for the interruption.
No, this is very good. I wouldn't mind finishing just with one next slide. We are having very good discussion. That's what the purpose of a case study is. Now, what happens other than this in a case? We need to live within the case. Case studies will be limited. Information will be limited in the case study. The way it has been designed. On purpose, I have hidden some points so that during discussions, those questions are raised or those concerns are raised. So 2 of you have made this observation that there's not enough available in the case study. We still need to move on. It may happen sometimes. But if you feel there is something missing, please let me know. Perhaps I will provide you that information. So I'm waiting for a few more seconds. If someone says, Daman, I would have done better response, I would have managed this project well if I had this portion, this information, which is not available in the case study. Okay, I'll ask a question. How many cooks are there in this drama? How many actors in this drama?
5.
5. Can you name those, please?
Yeah. The KSA government.
The department
DBD.
would say, okay, the client.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The client, DBD, Maple, Swift, and which is the other local?
I think 4. You
Yeah.
have named all. Yes, but these are 4.
Yeah.
And there is a saying linked with this. Millions years old saying. $1 million question.
Too many cooks.
Yes.
Spoil the dish.
That's a risk according to me. I may be willing to put this on. I would like to discuss this perhaps. It's a possible risk, too many cooks. But do you want to do this business? Yes or no? Quick one. As the boss, you become the CEO of DVD consultancy. Everyone, this is your day.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think even I would like to also go.
Yeah.
But yes, as Amol said, I think we need to also do some research on the agencies who are involved in the middle.
Yeah. So
I
far,
would do my research and then I'll.
Agreed. So far, looking at the facts, figures available to us, you're making 20%. There is no gain without pain. There will be risks. You need to be managing those risks. As of now, I'm saying as of now, most likely as CEO, CFO of the company, you may like to go ahead with this. Okay. Moving on. Draw a relationship diagram and identify risks, if any. That was the first question, but I have already asked you more than this, and we have attempted to answer also. A relationship diagram also must be developed. And then in the case study, a scenario is given to you. And there are many scenarios in this case study. The first one, during the evaluation phase, DVD consultancy, so you are DVD consultancy, CEOs and CFOs sitting here, submitted through Swift LLP, received high ratings for its technical merits. DVD consultancy was good in their job. Financial negotiations ensued, and DVD consultancy provided its best offer to secure the project at a 5% reduced, no regret price. However, Swift LLP conveyed the client's request for further price reductions. Following internal deliberations, DVD consultancy declined to proceed on those terms. This is the scenario, and then the exercise, a question for you. List the factors that DVD consultancy would have considered before declining at this stage. Do project economics play any role here? Identify risks, if any, and for whom. I'm stopping here. Time for you. In the full length course, I provide you the answer sheet also. But first, we have to discuss. So what has happened now? Technically, very good. We could say they were number 1, number 2, but the client was interested. Negotiations started, financial commercial negotiations, and DVD consultancy said 5% reduced. They wanted more reduction, and DVD consultancy said, we have discussed internally, and sorry, we don't want to proceed.
I think to start with, DVD was little too adventurous to commit 5%. They should have rather started with something low, right, or 3, and then that's a typical thing, because we know that the negotiations do not end with one-sided dialogue. Right? Both sides want to win ultimately, so
they will want more. You
right,
all know this.
Right, so they should have been a little less adventurous in first place. Okay. And 2, declining upfront is also no great practice. If at all we have chosen to deep dive in water, let's hold our breath well, so that we can sustain the game. But I think these are the 2 mistakes in first place.
Very good.
First and second place.
Very good. Anyone else?
I just have a question because, like, again, keep in mind, I'm still new to the whole world of economics, so
No
there's
challenge.
certain terminology for me. I would love to understand what do
Okay.
we mean by no regrets price, so I can just, so I can understand the concept of the whole scenario.
All right. Okay. Anyone who wants to help, who can help, Susan? No regret offer. Sometimes this is known as BAFO. BAFO. Daman, give me your BAFO, best and final offer, that you wouldn't regret anymore. We could have done 6% perhaps. You wouldn't discuss that internally. 5% we have given. After that, if client says no, we are happy. We are happy to lose this. So this is best and final offer or no regret offer.
Ah, okay. It's kind of like similar to what we have in terms of best practices in the UAE. Normally, it's the procurement and contracts
Yes.
are the ones who are basically, discussing with the consultants, the vendors,
Right.
or the service provider. So
Yes.
basically, once the proposals have been submitted, there's an assessment to review in terms of the information before if the client has any questions for the vendor. So that's when later stage comes in terms of the cost and the prices. So I think, because normally it would start internally, before announcing we select, for example, this vendor.
Right.
Again, the no regret price is something new for me.
No regret for the vendor. That vendor is saying, this is my best offer.
Okay.
After this, if you say no to no, you become client. I am the vendor. So I'm saying this is my best and final offer, no regret offer. If you say no to me, I wouldn't mind. I have done my internal calculations.
Is this applied to for example, the ideal, vendor, or this is applied to all vendors,
You're
in the
discussing
market?
with all perhaps at this moment.
Okay.
The project is not awarded to anyone yet.
Yeah.
Discussions
Okay.
are happening, yes. So maybe they are discussing to best three, top three, etc., as we do in procurement departments.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good to know. Good to know.
Next scenario, assuming the case was closed, DVD consultancy said we cannot reduce more than 5%. So case closed in their files, they have closed this. DVD consultants was surprised to receive direct communication from Maple consultants. So Maple consultants have come into picture first time, indicating a preference for DVD consultancy at the vendor. You, the client, are calling me, Daman. Actually, we would like to work with you. While DVD consultancy has assumed that we said no, we cannot go beyond this, much below than this. Sorry. My mistake. After some time, Swift LLP re-engaged with DVD consultancy, informing them that the project had been awarded to Swift LLP based on DVD consultancy's technical capabilities. Swift LLP insisted that DVD consultancy be part of the assignment as the lead delivery team. So without even looking into the question could be, what's happening here, isn't it? Question says, analyze the current situation and identify risks, if any. Any responses? I'll repeat what
I think the Swift is at risk right now because they have so-called committed in first place, saying that they believe in DPD consultants, technical abilities, but they have not received a complete yes from their side. One, nor the DPD consultants are aware of it, although they have re-engaged them, but they have not said yes yet.
simple.
So I think that's a risk, and it's like planning a wedding with one party available.
Planning a wedding with one party available, right? Anyone else? Amol said risk for Swift. We don't have enough time. We are running through the case study. I'm not able to take you through the whole scenario. So what I'll do is, while sharing the screen, I'll tell you the gist of what has been happening or what happened next in the case. I hope you can see the screen. I may have a view that this perhaps is unethical also. You, DBD consultancy, have said no. Swift has won the award in your name because you were technically very good. And then I'm coming back to you. Please do this job. We have won on your technical capabilities or based on your technical capabilities. When you said no, I shouldn't have gone ahead with that proposal, which was based on your capabilities. Are you with me? There may be some discussions, debates around that. So as of now, I'm not giving the decision. I'm just putting some thoughts. Food for thought, if you want. Next, if we quickly look at here, what has happened is, despite DBD Consultancy's continued refusal, Swift LLP emphasized that the failure to participate would result in both DBD Consultancy and Swift LLP being blacklisted in KSA. And for DBD Consultancy, KSA was an important geography, country, strategically. So reluctantly agreed to proceed with the project at 20% further reduction. Any views quickly? The moment I say 20% further reduction.
This is like a no gain kind of scenario.
Or loss also, because their profitability was 20%. Then they reduced 5%. And now more 20%. Right? It may happen in life. It may happen. Because we could be blacklisted, so we have agreed. Strategically, the country is important for us, currently as well as for the future. So we understand this must have been written as a risk within DBD Consultancy. That this one we are taking at a loss if it happens to be loss, or even if at no gain. The project's features included a government entity with a large complex structure, a dependency on the local language, low margins, and tight schedules spanning 6 months. DBD Consultancy was comfortable to do it in 9 months, but the mandate through the RFP was finished in 6 months, come what may. Actually, the case keeps becoming complex. Please write your commentary on the economics of the project. So that's what we were discussing, whether it's profit making, loss making, from 20% to -5% or -2%, etc. During phase 1, which involved conducting a current state assessment, delays occurred due to the client's failure. Very clear, it's client's end. To schedule meetings with top management promptly, Swift LLP informed DBD Consultancy that these delays could result in financial penalties of which DBD Consultancy was previously unaware. Additionally, the contract between Naval Consultants and Swift LLP, written in local language, was not available to DBD Consultancy. And the question comes to you as participants in the masterclass. Write your opinion about the health of project financially or any other parameters if you would like to discuss. And I'm stopping once again here.
I think financially the project is in rather, I would say, amber.
Don't say that word, please. Don't say that word.
Okay. Well,
this is being recorded.
Okay. So the project is definitely in a questionable state. It's not in happy state for sure. And the way the loopholes have been identified later on, which should have been part of the due checks in first place,
right.
Those have not happened. Like the DBD consultants not being aware the kind of timelines they have been put against, and plus the contract not being available to them. So I think it's all DBD consultants are clearly on the losing side, and they are still the performance of the show. So I think whether ethically, professionally, and financially, the project is in questionable state, and DBD consultants is would have been far not, they would have been far better without this business than getting into it.
Okay. You're speaking this as CEO, CFO, or as the project manager?
The PM.
The PM, project manager or program
Right.
manager. All right.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to play the role of the CEO, CFO? Amol's senior, a decision maker at DVD consultancy, which is a scenario later on in the case study. So because of time, I'm just asking here. Amol's view was we shouldn't have taken this. Anyone who wants to become his senior? What would you do at this point in time? Including now, Amol also can play the role of the senior. If this is the situation, this is what has happened. What should you do now?
Considering the company's position, because as a CEO, now that we have got into it, we got to do it, come what may, because the blacklisting that threat that we already had, and considering only that situation, we got into this deep water. So we'll have to live with it.
Anyone else? Or would you say, we wanted to make 20%, we have gone into loss, we didn't want to do, but we have been forced to do this. And then the delays are because of client. And then other two partners that we had, too many cooks there were. Contract not available to us. Contract meaning in local language. We were not aware of the financial penalties. You should have brought all this to or someone who you means three of you, other side of the game, should have brought this to our notice that there would be financial penalties also. Perhaps at that time you would have said no, once again, even if there was a risk of getting blacklisted. So it appears to be very difficult situation for us. As a CEO, perhaps I'm saying, losing more, how much more? Tell me, please. This may continue. There may be some other surprise that may unfold for you in the case. Is there a point when you would like to say, now I want to pull the plug? Enough is enough.
It should be at the beginning, not really in the middle or in the end, because because if once you've reached like 50% of of what you've achieved in terms of the project, or almost in the end, the risk becomes even more higher.
Okay.
If it was at the very beginning before signing the contract, okay, it's better to pull the plug, from the very beginning than to do it after signing the contract, because the contract, it binds you by law. So basically, then whether it's the client or the vendor, each have their own right according to the contract and according to the law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're at -5% as of now. If I say now next scene unfolds and it becomes -35% for you, and in the third scene, next scene, it becomes -50% for you, are you still going to live by those conditions because it's bound by law? Contract is bound by law.
Is it basically
as
mentioned in the
CEO and
contract?
CFO?
Sorry?
Right? As CEO or CFO of the company, and no emotions in the game. This is pure business. So practically, what would you like to do? -50%, -60%, -90%? For how long will you keep? Yes.
Yeah, is it basically is the CEO or the company conditioning the vendor, but they will only pay this less percentage, or
because of penalties coming up, because
okay,
there are delays. Delays are because of me, I'm the client, but
Okay.
penalties on you are the vendor.
Okay. So basically, yeah, I would actually totally agree. And again, like you said, business is business. There should not be any emotions included, because again, I the owner or the company or the organization has the law protecting that entity. For in case of any disruption, in case of any sabotage, in case of any negligence, from either party or even the vendor himself, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Thank you very much. Once
No
again,
worries.
in the interest of time, I'm not able to go through the full case. It is very interesting. I have made it this way that intensity keeps increases, condition keeps increasing, and then your responses as a project manager, as the client, as the intermediary, and as the CEO or CFO of the company. Ultimately, in the scenario, in the case, the client said, stall the project forever. At a critical juncture, Swift LLP informed DVD Consultancy that the project had been indefinitely stalled. By this point, DVD Consultancy had invested approximately 4 person months of effort. 4 person month of effort. You can check for your organizations how much that comes out to be. And had allocated senior resources for a 6-month duration. In between, what we have skipped, when you get this from me at the end of the masterclass, you will see, you read it, you will see that in between, initially, the project's language was English. The client said all had to be in Arabic, the local language. Are they being reasonable, unreasonable? Do they want this project to be done? Did they really mean this? Could be so many discussions. So on this one case study, we could have spent maybe 4 or 5 hours easily. And then in the course, I provide you the version that I have of responses to all of these. As of now, what we do, the last step here we look at is please document lessons learned from the case study for continual improvement. Any. And as of now, I would say, forget about the client, the intermediaries, the local consultant, as of now, for DVD consultancy, because it appeared, you also said, it seems they are at the receiving end. The only loss is for DVD consultancy. Well, I may have a different view that client also is not getting the project done. They initiated organizational resilience program. But at least they said it's stalled indefinitely. So far, it seems they have spent DVD consultancy, have spent effort, no money has been received, no bills have been raised, according to the case. So it seems only DVD consultancy is at the receiving end. So lessons learned from them right from beginning quickly. It seems they didn't do a good homework. They missed maybe some project management, program management skills. You also have said that they should have thought of this in the beginning. Why is there no contract with them in the language that they can understand? That's a very big one. And when they are dealing with the government consultants, a government organization, with due respect to all governments in the world, but surely they take a little longer compared to the private companies, private houses. DVD consultancy should have kept this in mind. They should have thought of their own risk management. Yes, they took this under pressure, otherwise being blacklisted. So what is in the case study not available? What is my point, tipping point, when I would like to say, sorry, now, even if you shoot me, but now I'm not going to be taking this up, which is known as the risk appetite of the organization, perhaps. Quick views on the case study, few seconds. Full case study will be available to you. And during the course, even the answers will be available to you. Good, bad, ugly? Any observations? Continuing with that topic, project economics. The project has a cost. So there are different components, 5 different components, and I have shown the element, the definition, and examples also. Quickly, just direct cost, indirect or overheads, contingency costs, opportunity costs, as well as sunk cost. So when in the beginning, DVD consultancy was willing to prepare, participate, they had spent some time, effort in developing their proposal. Sometimes it could be many months effort also, many months effort in just developing the proposal, submitting the proposal. And it's not guaranteed that you would win it. So that is one example of sunk cost, that you have to spend this money and it may not come back to you. Estimation is very important and very important skill also that needs to be learned, developed, mastered. I never say perfected because no one is perfect in this world. But mastered, yes, with practice, by doing it again and again, we can do better. Why should we estimate? So that project planning is effective, resource allocation is good, budgeting is good, and budgeting means budget management also. When I have received, I need to be utilizing this. Risk management is good, and we are good at stakeholder or communication with interested parties. And in a project, we estimate 3 elements: the effort, time, and cost. Quick look at the consideration in project estimation. Type: preliminary, detailed, and contingency. My first thought, it seems, just looking at the RFP with my experience, I am saying this could be about $200,000. It may take about 3 months. But then I can go deep. I should go deep in details and then estimate a little further. Because in the beginning itself, the company says, no, we don't bid for anything which is less than $1 million. That's our strategy. So this is not an RFP on which we should be spending any effort. So even from the top of the head, it's a good one. Then different techniques, expert judgment, as I said, just expert judgment or past data. We did a similar job of this type, and that was about 400,000. So we know this is also going to be roughly that much. Some industry benchmarks, or we can ask for from the vendors also. There is someone who is good in organizational resilience implementation, we know. So we can get in touch with them. Amol has said that perhaps a local partner also had to be used, could be used. Then different tools to be used in project estimation. These are some names I have said, listed. There would be many more in the market, I'm sure. Then assumptions. Any work that we do would have assumptions. So we should list, always list whatever assumptions we make. There may be limitations also. And accuracy, estimations in art. On day one, I may have an accuracy of 70%, but with experience, I need to reach 80, 85, 90, 95, etc. also. Everything, even our worksheets must be preserved. That's very important because people move out also in any organization. Then whatever Daman did, the way, whatever assumptions he had in mind should be known to the next person also. So even the worksheets must be preserved. Documentation is very important. Who approved? Authority. And there may be different authorities in different organizations. Up to $200,000, XYZ can approve, but more than 200,000, it needs to go to the board, for example. It needs to be discussed with the board. Communication is important, very important in all aspects of life, but its importance during project management also I'm bringing out, and for which I have developed a communication cycle based on ISO 22301. There is clause 7 which talks about the communication portion, and my communication cycle. Quickly, in the course I spend a little more time on that. Who communicates what, to whom, when, and how? If we take care of all this, then we are almost compliant to one of the best ISO 22301 standard with respect to communication. And whatever we do in estimation, project estimation, is not forever, needs to be reviewed. We said we would make 20%. Are we making 20%? We thought we would be spending 100,000 in first 6 months. This project was only for 6 months. Assuming there's some program running for 3 months. So we estimated we would be spending or incurring $100,000 cost in 6 months. How much have we spent? 120,000. Oh my God. Oh, because there was some issue and we had to hire a local consultant at a very high rate. So that's why this review and update and maintenance is also important. Cost benefit analysis, in short, CBA. I'm just looking at the time because, only 6 minutes left. So I'll skip this much. Let me show you quickly a tool. Let's play with the tool because that's also a takeaway for you from the master class. Can you see my screen once again? An Excel sheet?
Yes.
Woman say yes, no, please. Very simple according to me, but very effective. I have developed this and I have used this. I hope readable now. Some components, some are standard components, you may be able to add more. Revenue, 500. It may be INR, it may be dirham, it may be dollars, it may be pounds. Cost, some other expenses. So I have put plus and minus also against that. With the given figures, this project or program is achieving 20% net gross profit. It's good. Is it good or bad? With net profit of 18% also. Quickly, someone, anyone, and any opinion. You may say, no, no, this is bad.
Yeah.
I would have liked to make it
this is good.
30%.
This is good.
20% is fairly good, we can assume, right? And break even point. So whatever you are making, assume you were selling courses. Even if you sell less than 1.82 units sold, you will achieve break even point. Break even point is when your expenses and your returns are same, equalized. But the last one, profitability index is less than 1, which is not good. Profitability index must be at least 1. Then the project is viable. Then what do we do? What is written as plus? Increasing that will make some positive impacts. You need to make $1,000, still not good. Somehow we make $5,000. But this is still not becoming 1. So play with some other figures. Total investment, initial investment was thought to be 1,000. If I reduce, 0 is not good. Make it 5,000. Your profitability is becoming 4,000. Unbelievable. Which means my figures, whatever parameters I have changed, the values I have put are not reasonable, not practicable. So by playing with this tool, we will be able to see how much do I need to do in different sectors. Assume we go back to original, right? This is what it is. If I just make initial investment to be 1, my profitability is becoming 406%. I wanted just 1%. By controlling, this is cost control is happening, which we just studied in the masterclass in the lesson. I'm about 1 here. So if I contain my initial investment to 400, it's possible that now other figures remaining same, 20%, 18%, no change in my profitability, but this project has become feasible for me. There's one more parameter, but I can't sell less than 1. How many should I sell? Selling 1 is good, selling 10 is difficult. So then again, play with some other figures, other parameters. And when you see this is also becoming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know how many units, if you're making tractors, for example, how many tractors do you need to sell to achieve your objectives or goals. It's interesting, I hope. I believe this will also be shared with you. 10 challenges in the organizations quickly. Exceed expectations, drive revenue, succeed through excellence, boost profits. 10 listed here on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, 10 answers also, the solutions also. And it seems to us the solution is delivering excellence. At least 5 times out of 10, the response is delivering excellence. So while I close this, about to close this commitment, the case study, world-class, as the Big Fours or the MBB would do in resolving the multi-million-dollar business problems, or while interviewing new recruits. This Excel sheet, a good tool, simple one, but effective according to me. And also a cheat sheet will be shared with you. Cheat sheet on project economics, which is a tool in your hands to make project management tasks easy, simple for you. And then today, what transformation happened? We see what has happened to Raj. He is a respected project manager at his firm. His projects deliver on time, stay within budget, and exceed expectations. His understanding of project economics has been a game changer. Now, wouldn't you like to experience a similar transformation for yourselves, for for your team members, for your organization? Answer is this full length course. So quickly 2 minutes on that. Certified Delivering Excellence Specialist course. If you look at, these are the contents, so much length and the width. Managing large transformation deals, program project lifecycle management, including status reporting, project economics, a quick look. Exact one lesson from the full length course was discussed today in the masterclass. Efficient service delivery approach and methodology. Managing change requests. Changes will happen in life, whatever we do. Introduction to delivering excellence, quality management and continual improvement, innovation and creativity, effective communication, building a culture of excellence. I think Amod had said culture is very important, or whoever said, but culture is very important in an organization, and it's very difficult to change also. That's why these become programs and big transformation programs. Managing customer complaints and feedback. I discussed how to convert feedback into opportunity, how to convert complaints into opportunity. That's what we need to learn. And advanced client interactions. Whatever we do, there will be some times when clients will be unhappy. In this case, DVD consultancy saying no, ultimately, whichever way, whenever, the client wouldn't be happy. How do we manage those? In the full length course, we learn that also. Key features, designed, developed, delivered by myself. It was developed based on a request from EY. The course is CPD certified and you get 24 CPE credits. There are 20 sessions, 21 case studies, world-class, world's first AI assisted course on this topic. We play games also, highly practical, different types of exercises. There are 33 exercises in the full length course of different type, individual, group, and role plays also. Tons of additional reading material I provide. Fully working playable Excel sheet. There's only one today, but whatever I use in the full course, all to be taken over by you. My book, My Experiments with Organizational Resilience, Part 1, free for all participants. Personally signed copy is sent to all. Opportunity to contribute. This is an offer from me. In my next book, you can contribute. You can write a guest chapter. Lifelong support. Whenever you feel you can ask a question, response is guaranteed. And this is ultimate according to me. I don't give up on my students, even after the course is over. Whenever you start implementing, and if you face some challenges, training was group training, but this 30 minutes or these 30 minutes in my Resilience OPD, one-on-one coaching is available freely to all. This course starts on 31st of July. First 2 days, 31st of July, 1st of August. Next, 7th and 8th August, and we finish on 14th, 15th August. This is based on a survey. 71% people said the month schedule it this way. So it's 24 hours learning, actually 3 days course, but it's spread over 6 days, 6 half days, over 3 weeks, so that there's least impact on your official work. 2 to 7 p.m. IST, lifelong training, I'm saying, live training, sorry, delivered by me, and the Zoom link is provided to attend. So it's a Zoom session. I've listed who should be attending this. In the recording, this will be available. You should be able to pause and spend time on this. I'm going fast. Almost everyone that we said in the beginning of the session, when some people have joined yet, that anyone, any organization, within organization, any department will have projects and programs. And they need to deliver excellence to their customers, internal as well as external. So this course is for almost anyone, everyone, whoever is dealing with projects. By attending this, you become a riper, which means redeployable, incrementable, promotable, like Raj, the program, I hope you recollect, employable, and retainable. You get 2 types of certificates. One is issued by me. Right-hand side, left-hand side, you see a certificate from CPD directly, also confirming the 24 CPE credits. I wanted to run a poll quickly. Give me just another couple of minutes. Were these discussions helpful? I hope you can see it in front of you on your screens. Please provide your feedback to me. 3 options: yes, thanks, yes, thanks, and you would like to have the details. You can say no also. No one is perfect. I'll be happy to improve upon my delivery in future. 1, I already know that I have gone beyond the time, and I'll take care of that next time. I'll wait for a few minutes, and I'll take action according to your feedback. Few more seconds on this, and then I'll close the poll. Any questions as of now, even if we have gone beyond? If you had committed some other task, have another meeting, you can leave now. I wouldn't mind. I'm here if there are any questions, or otherwise you can write to me anytime. I'll be happy to provide all responses. My coordinates in front of you. Here I am stopping sharing the slide screens, and then I'm waiting. If anyone wants to continue, any questions, any interactions, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Laman, for this wonderful, like pre-introduction to the session itself. And and I'm definitely interested. But my question to you, like this specific course, is it remotely or is it in person?
Currently, what I've scheduled, starting from 31st of July, that is remote, online.
Okay.
But the capabilities exist to do it in person also. But I have not scheduled it in person yet.
Okay.
But
Perfect.
happy to do this. Happy to do in houses also. If you have enough number, we can do in houses.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Susan. Any other questions? If not, then I'll again say thank you very much to everyone. And my offer, all these commitments that I made to you will be fulfilled. The artifacts will be with you at the end of the day, by the end of the day, almost like that. And if you have any questions later on, please feel free to write to me. Always happy to provide all responses. Last request, if you don't mind switching on the cameras, I would like to take a picture also. Thanks, Amol. Anyone else? I'll wait for a few more seconds. If you can switch on cameras, that'll be great. I would like to take a picture, and I hope there's no objection. Thanks, Susan. I hope there's no objection in sharing the picture on my social media also. Can I have the best smiles, please? Thank you very much. With this, once again, thanks for coming in. And any questions, please write to me. I'll bring a lot more to you. There's a lot more coming up. Next masterclass is on 20th, by the way, but it's in the morning, 11 a.m. IST. Oh, Ibrahim, can we stay for a few more seconds? Then I'll take picture once again. One more camera is on. Yes, best smiles once again, please. Thank you very much. So next masterclass is on 20th, Thursday, 11 a.m. IST. The topic is resiliency testing, achieving resilience or excellence through resiliency testing. Once again, very interesting discussion. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'll be the last one to leave, allowing my guests to leave first. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.